I'm a feminist, and I have to say I despise you.
That I'm doing my job. All right, everybody. Terrence Popp here with another episode of Live from the Lair. And I got the clipboard here today, so we're going to be going through some emails here. I'm going to read them off and talk about them here. So I don't really anticipate this will be a real long video, but it is what it is. Number one.
Your channel is nothing but hate. You have nothing to contribute to society except division.
I talk about actual reality on the ground. I support it with stats and studies. And then I make conclusions based on logic, facts, and reason. And for whatever reason it is out there, a lot of the feminists think that whenever you argue with them or disagree, it's hate speech and can amount to violence, which is absolute bullshit. We're in the United States. We all have the freedom of speech, which is also defended with the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. We have let the feminists run off at the mouth from the first wave, second wave, third wave, and now we're on our fourth wave of the feminazis. And each and every time it gets worse. Okay, now in the beginning, they had some rational arguments that, there was some unfair shit going on, and, it is what it is. But, we've been watching this just get worse and worse from the very beginning. They wanted the right to vote, but they didn't want to be drafted. Well, now it looks like they're on the table to get drafted, and now they want to do away with the draft. Okay, and the whole abortion thing. I believe the catchphrase was safe and rare. Well, now, on demand, no questions asked, up to and including 9 months. When I was younger, I was on board with the whole abortion thing when it was up to like 8 weeks. It was a bundle of cells, they didn't have a heartbeat, blah, blah, blah. And I have watched it just go off the rails, where they're actually sawing up viable babies in the womb and pulling them out piece by piece. And the word on the street is they're selling their body parts. So, if me talking about reality, truth, and so forth is hate, well, I guess you got me. We're going to move on to number 2 here. All right. How are you? Well, there's more to these emails. I'm just taking out the bullet points. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but some of them are pretty long.
Okay, how are you fit to give men and boys advice? You are a complete failure in life.
Ouch! Failure. Oh, nobody likes the F word. In my book, that word is a little bit above fuck off. Well, let's address that. If I'm a failure. Okay. Am I the richest guy out there? No. No, I'm not. Am I famous? No. Not 6 feet tall. I don't have the mark of the beast. I'm just a dude. What makes me fit to give advice to men and boys? Well, I've fucking led men in battle from the front and by example. When the shit hits the fucking fan, I walk out to the front, I look back and go, hey, follow me, let's go. And we do what we gotta do. Back in the old days, any man that could do that was usually looked up to and put up on a pedestal as somebody to inspire to be like. In today's day and age, apparently that doesn't mean what it used to mean anymore. All right, so we'll address it another way. Okay, I'm fit to give men and boys advice because I have done virtually all of the mistakes that I talk about in my videos myself. The most expensive thing a man will have in his entire life is wisdom. Because more often than not, he paid for said wisdom with a portion of his goddamn ass and some of his soul. All right, because pain is the ultimate teacher. Now, if I could keep people behind me from making the same mistakes and avoiding the pitfalls that I fell into, and they have a better, more successful life than me, it's a win. So I find my success in that. So, pound some sand. All right, number 3. This is a long one. It was actually a fairly long email in regards to an individual whose brother had got divorced, and the kids were, the ex-wife had taken the kids and denied visitation and played the move around game and all of the dirty tricks that women do after a divorce were done to this guy. And his brother was worried because he was in a dark place. He was drinking a lot, and there were a couple times he actually went over to his house fully anticipating to find him dead by his own hand.
I want to thank you. Your show saved my brother. He went through a bad divorce. His kids were removed from him by the ex-wife. I seriously thought he was going to kill himself several times, either from booze or by his own hand. He was in a very bad place for a long time, and you helped. You helped him crawl back to the land of the living. He took his ex to court dozens of times.
I did that myself.
Lodged formal complaints against the judge, the attorneys, and friend of the court and other court officials involved in his case. Now he gets his time with his kids and half of the summer and every Christmas until his kids turn 18 to make up for all of the time denied to him from his ex-wife. Thank you for your humor. It saved his life.
Well, that's why I do this, and you're welcome. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of it. It was a lot of touchy-feely stuff, and I'm not really good at that.
Oh, thank God you're here.
Not So Sane Man's Guide to the Multiverse takes a former cop collecting alimony and drops him into a world of insanity for shits and giggles.
What the hell are you doing with the money I'm giving you every month?
Salsa. Oh, booze and hookers.
If you're ready to laugh at the absurdity and cringe at the reality, click on the link in the description to watch Brett William Mauser's Not So Sane Man's Guide to the Multiverse right now. All 7 episodes are free to watch on Amazon Prime.
We need some backup.
All right, now here's another one. Now I get a lot of hate mail from feminists, and usually I don't really bother reading them anymore because it's always the same thing. It's just personal attacks, who hurt you, you had a bad experience, and so forth. They really don't argue the facts, because the facts don't support them at all. There we go. So
I'm a feminist, and I have to say I despise you.
that I'm doing my job.
But you have always been on point. You back up what you say with fact stats that are hard to deny. I hope they take you down, because sooner or later what you say will reach the masses, and I fear that day.
Well, little Miss Feminist, I'm not going to read your entire email because, quite frankly, it was stupid, and it was more attacks and stuff. But you notice how she brought up how I stayed on point. If you stick to the facts, back your facts up with the stats, studies of what's going on in the real world, on the ground, the feminists really can't compete with that because their arguments are all based around emotion and anger. And I would dare say hatred. But that doesn't hold a candle to logic, reason, being rational. Hopefully one day I will reach the masses. And I will stick my foot right up their asses, those sons of bitches. All right, number 5. And we're going to stop it here at 5. This one is really long as well. Apparently they don't like what I do or say. And it says, this is the key point here.
You are dripping in white privilege. You are blinded to it, and it makes me sick. Okay, I hope I run into you in person so I can kick your head in.
There we go. I'm a little older now. You know, it's not beyond the realm of impossibility for me to get my ass kicked. Just gonna say. But I know what I'm doing. All right, I've done nothing but study violence in all its forms since the age of 13 years old. I'm not a big muscular guy. I walk around 210, sometimes 205. When I'm powerlifting and going, through my deal, I get up to 220. I don't like that weight. I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and I hit the heavy bag. I practice with weapons, use said weapons in war, and I fought professional fighters in the ring in front of thousands of people, and I did pretty good. So the violence thing doesn't scare me, okay? It doesn't touch me at all. You know, this is my real face, my real name. I'm just a Google away. I'm not that hard to find. And I don't hide from anybody. So that's just the way that rolls. Okay, now I'm dripping in white privilege. I keep hearing about this privilege that I somehow enjoy. And I can't really think of any time that I got the wink and the nod, hey, you're a white guy, you're good to go. Never happened. When I got done with high school, I had a GPA of 2.51, and there were absolutely no options on the table for me whatsoever, other than the military. So, I went and I talked to the Marines, and I was all about that until I found out you had to live in a boat in the ocean. I told them to pound sand. Didn't want to go in the Air Force. I certainly don't want anything to do with the Navy. So my only option was in the Army. Now, my only saving grace was I did well on the ASVAB, blew it out of the water when they gave it to me in the middle of 10th grade. So I had that going for me. But things worked out the way they worked out. I went in as an E1 private in the straight leg infantry. All right, that is about as low as it gets in the Army totem pole. And all I did was show up, meet the standard every day, and I just climbed the ladder, and I decided that I wanted to do more high-speed stuff. I went Airborne Ranger, Paratrooper, Green Beret, all of which had a myriad of hoops and bells and whistles you had to get through. Countless times I was put to the test and I made it. Okay, and it had nothing to do with the fact that I'm white. Okay, it had everything to do with the fact that I was just fast enough. I had just enough endurance. I could take the heat, I could take the cold, I could swim. I did what I was told. I never quit, and it made all the difference. Okay, and not one time in all of those trials and tribulations did I ever catch a break because I was a white guy. Because in the Army, they don't care what color you are. They look at a goddamn stopwatch, and either you make it or you don't. And it's just that simple. And I got off active duty. I put my packet in to go to college, got accepted at a local community college, and I had to start off at the very bottom, which was cave painting and rock counting, and work my way up from there. And I graduated 3.04 in public administration with a minor in statistical analysis and accounting. Okay, because I'm not really good at crazy, stupid math, but I'm really good if the numbers actually represent shit on the ground. So this whole white privilege thing is absolutely stupid. I don't see it. Okay, maybe that shit worked in the 60s and 70s, but not in 2020. Your argument is null and void. And I'm done here, gentlemen. Take it easy.